I prepped the bike the night before for an early departure on Saturday. Today I'm heading north to Spokane, Washington to see one of my oldest friends. I picked up the local Tour of Honor site and left Redmond in the rearview mirror. US 97 north towards the Dales is an amazing stretch of empty. I'm going to risk some copyright complications, but I had to put this in off my playlist from my helmet.
Wildcat raised his head and cried, "Oh, give me land, lots of land under starry skies above. Don't fence me in, let me ride through the wide open country that I love. Don't fence me in, let me be by myself in the evening breeze. Listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me off forever, but I ask you please, don't fence me in, just turn me loose. Let me straddle."
I was 20 years old when I first experienced the Rocky Mountains in the American West. From that point on, the West had a relentless allure into my soul. I took my first multi-day motorcycle trip with my good friend Doug to the Black Hills in 2007, and then again to the Rockies, Moab, and the Four Corners 2 years later. I've been back many times, but the West never disappoints.
Don't fence me in.
Maybe it's my Kansas City roots, but I am fascinated with the American westward migration along its historic trails. I've followed along most of them at various points, and today I'm happy to report that I've been down this Oregon Trail and lived to tell my story. I turned east along the Columbia River Valley, heading down towards the Tri-Cities, where I again then turned north into the eastern Washington steppe towards Spokane and Alex's home.
Don't fence me in, let me be by myself in the evening breeze. Listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me off forever, but I ask you please.
Alex and I first met in Vilflecken, Germany during grade school in the 1980s, but it wasn't until I moved back to finish up high school that our friendship solidified. We spent our senior year together before drifting off again in separate directions. I headed back to attend college, and Alex joined the U.S. Air Force. It was through the power of the internet and happenstance that we reconnected nearly 15 years later. The best part is that we both share a passion for motorcycling.
Don't fence me in.
I spotted some storms ahead on the horizon, so I stopped off at Love's, of course, and prepared for the expected rain. The storm hit just outside of town, so I made a quick video called the Triple Digit Dance as I put on my rain gloves. Riding in the rain is so much a part of motorcycle touring that I almost look forward to it on some level. The Scandinavians sum it up best: there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing. And Aerostitch makes the best clothing for days like today. I arrived in Spokane in the early afternoon to a warm welcome, and much to my surprise, a nice slice of homemade apple pie. The next day of riding was amazing. Although I have to explain the video compared to the other days, I'd inadvertently changed the settings on the 360 camera to front only, and a bug decided to occupy the frame shortly after we got on the road. That being said, it did not dampen the day at all. After nearly 4 years of friendship, Alex and I had finally had the opportunity to go for a motorcycle ride together. Together we rode out across the Palouse, the undulating combination of prairie and hills that goes on seemingly forever. We rode to the top of Steptoe Butte to take in the grand vistas. first leg of this adventure is complete. The bike will get some much needed service in Spokane while I fly back so I can get back to work for a little bit. I will return in a month to finish this trek home. 2,974 miles so far, and so much fun with so many friends.